I agree with a bunch of stuff that Trump says.
Good.
It's just,
So I'm working on you, see?
well, I've already agreed with him a little bit. It's just
Good.
He talks about, the Mexicans and that kind of stuff. The bigotry, I don't get.
He's not a bigot. Look,
My
he's
stepmom's Mexican, and
look. He's not a bigot for a very simple reason. Let me look. I'm Jewish, for instance. Okay. So when we talk about anti-Semitism, and I experienced two types of anti-Semitism. I mean, essentially, personally experienced maybe just one type of anti-Semitism, and it was government-sponsored anti-Semitism in the USSR. Okay, where the whole government conspires against you, where you can be promoted for the sole purpose, for the rather reason of you being Jewish. So that automatically puts you in a completely different category. You can't get promoted. I wanted to go to medical school. They would say no because I'm Jewish, and so my father wouldn't promote it for the same reason, and so on and so on. Now, that's kind of official anti-Semitism. I mean, race is kind of the same thing, the same story. Now, when I would come over here, are there anti-Semites in this country? You bet. In fact, there are more anti-Semitic incidents than anti-Muslim incidents in this country, way more than anti-Muslim, okay? And we didn't really, go around burning buildings or slashing anybody's throats, and yet they hate us more. So the point that I'm trying to make is that there's one thing when it's A, personal, and B, when we talk about, let's say, racism, to use an example. I'm getting back to Trump, by the way. I've started from afar. Let's say racism is when you do not like any blacks, no matter what. Can be as brilliant as, let's say, Clarence Thomas, one of the Supreme Judges. You can be as brilliant as, let's say, Condoleezza Rice. Just by the dint of them being black, that's what makes you a racist. If you have at least one person, and I was at the convention, there were more than one, not only on stage blacks who are working, in fact, top managers for the Trump Corporation, but also in the audience who support. Actually, right here I met the guy. He was, somewhere around here, a black guy, as black as it gets, who was at the convention as well, it turns out. He's a huge Trump supporter. He's black. So when you have at least one person in your company who is black, and he knows that in this case it's a she. He knows her personally. They know each other. They're working for a long time.
Yeah.
You can't call that person a bigot or racist anymore, because by definition you exclude everybody, no matter what, no matter the qualifications. You just hate their guts. Hitler would never, ever, ever have a Jew anywhere close. He wanted to exterminate every single one of us. That's hatred. I mean, real hatred. That's Nazism. That's anti-Semitism or racism when there's no exception, no matter what. That's not the case with the Trump. Therefore, it disqualifies him being called a racist, right or wrong? Common sense.
Well,
What do you think?
well, yeah, the way you put it, yeah, it makes sense.
All right. So we agree on something. Whew, I'm working on it. Come back to your family. Say, you know what? I changed my mind. Now I think I'm with you guys. I'm embracing you, the rest of my family.
I think Trump's got it locked up anyhow. I mean, Hillary's fell in
Don't
9
take it.
points from last week.
Don't take it for granted, please. Ohio is a very important state, please. None of our guys, as far as I know, won the presidency without your state. You're the most important people for us, please.
I'm pretty sure he's going to win Ohio.
But are you gonna vote for him, for Trump? You don't have to give me the answer. Just give me the thought, please.
I go back and forth just about every day.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe by talking to.
Every day since.
Oh, you know what? Let me give you my card, by the way. And what I do, I mean, besides of course doing my real serious job, is you can see here, I'm kind of fighting the socialists. Because,
okay.
I lived over there. I mean, on the front of the card is my legitimate business. In the back, I decided to put, something that I do. I'm trying to say for fun, but it's deadly serious. It's not really fun. I mean, there is huge consequences, really. Oh, I'm sorry, huge consequences. So give it a thought, watch some of these videos, and hope, send me a note if you find a chance. I really would like to know which way we're gonna go. We only have 100 days left.
Yeah.
right? But does it make sense what I'm saying
Yeah,
so
it
far,
does.
right? I mean, I'm not trying to sort of, nitpick. I'm not trying, to push you around. I'm just trying to have a conversation. Common sense, that's the keyword. I love it, phrase. Common sense conversation. Is there anything that I've said so far that kind of doesn't make sense?
No.
No,
Really.
good. Whew.
I can see where you're coming from.
USSR?
Well, the problem I have with capitalism is where I live in Ohio, Southeast Ohio,
Uh-huh.
we have, you know anything about fracking and injection wells?
Of course I do. Yeah, of course I do fracking. I love fracking. Of course I love fracking. God bless fracking. God bless. Look, our civilized world, we don't have nothing like that. Not my camera, not this TV, nothing, not these street lights, not your cap, not your glasses, not this without the energy. Everything revolves around energy because no machinery, nothing, but nothing can work without energy, right? In a civilized world. So unless you want a modern world, if you want to bring us back to the modern world, then you have a choice of doing that. I mean, it's so easy. Don't ever turn TV. Use electricity. Use the car. I mean, they're all using energy. Use gas. I mean, what's wrong with fracking?
The waste. They dump the waste about 3 miles from my house into a well,
Okay.
and it's the biggest injection well by volume in the state of Ohio. I've seen trucks from Texas coming and dumping waste in our well up the road from me. And
So are you the NIMBY guy, not in my backyard guy?
yeah. Well, the state of Ohio gets paid, I don't know, things like 33 cents a gallon or something that they dump. And they don't care. They didn't do any environmental studies on the water or anything like that.
So
Our watersheds, they're not mapped. And so
you want to ban fracking all over the country because of that? Because I can't speak specific in your particular case, in your particular backyard, but you're proposing banning fracking all across the board, or just not in your backyard?
eventually all across the board. But we need to be able to figure out something else, like get better solar, better wind.
Oh, I'd love to. But are you willing to pay like 10 times as much for electricity?
That's just how it is now
Because it's not competitive, that's it. Because coal is plentiful, because gas is plentiful, thank God, because oil is plentiful, it's much cheaper. And by the way, if you think they're saving the planet by using the photovoltaic cells, because I'm sure you know physics, you know how photovoltaic cells work, but did you think about where we get all these rare earth metals? Did you ever give that a thought?
Yeah, that's a problem too.
So solar is not clean anyway, when you think about it.
It really isn't anything that's really clean. But we need to be able to figure out, we need to loosen up so that we can let us study. We're a smart nation, we can figure out how to do it, how to make it cleaner. Different ways, different techniques maybe.
That's what capitalism is doing. Whatever makes a profit, they'll go for it. Environmental Protection Agency is here. It's supposed to be for a reason. But they're going overboard. If you think that they're not regulating, oh man. Not only do they regulating, it has become like a fascist organization. They're over regulating.
Yeah.
So, if not for them, gas, oil would have been so much cheaper, so much more plentiful. So, but even under the current conditions, solar is simply not competitive. And it's not clean either, because you have to make solar panels. How do you make solar panels?
Yeah.
Right? So,
rare minerals and all that kind of stuff.
and it all comes from China. 5% of it comes from China. We have our own rare earth metals, so we'll be holding by China. Think about it. Gallium, thallium, all these rare earth metals, I mean, by definition, it's not that they're rare, it's because their concentration is so low that you have to mine a lot of stuff to extract them. So it's a catch-22. No matter what you touch, you have to mine. You have to have, like you said in the backyard, this leftovers of mining. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Vote Trump.
We don't need to be completely oil dependent, though, and that's what I'm looking for. Is kind of even it out a little bit. You know what I mean?
All right.
But I mean, there's studies and studies coming out where the water is getting polluted and all that. And what are we gonna do with dirty water? You can't drink it. You can't ever use that water again that they dump it to the wells.
Well, I'm sure they can. I'm sure the solution. It's so easy to filter the water. I mean, think about it. If we can extract the oil and gas from miles under, don't you think it's such a simple thing to filter water?
I would think so, but they don't want to pay for it to do it.
In space, they drink their own urine.
Yeah.
So if you can clean your own urine and making it absolutely perfect potable water, don't you think you can just as easily clean whatever comes out of earth, out of land?
Yeah, that's my point exactly. At Walmart, you can buy those little things for like $20, and it gives you like 100 gallons of clean water.
There you go.
Suck it through like a straw.
See?
But why don't the oil companies do that?
Well, I can't speak for the specifics, but I'm pretty much sure that EPA is on their ass at all times, and they simply probably can't do it unless EPA approves it. I mean, it's a very, 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 very extremely regulated industry. So again, I can't speak for the specifics, but I'm pretty much sure that it's blown out of proportion. And we need gas anyway. I mean, nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
We have to sacrifice somewhere. So I'd rather sacrifice for, if that's the choice, assuming that's the choice, for some little pollution here, for much, much better good of having oil, gas, because everything depends on energy. I mean, really, right?
Yeah, it does.
Got to go.
All right.
Nice talking to you. Vote Trump, okay? I'm not gonna tell anybody.
I talked so much trash I couldn't do it.
What was that?
I said I talked so much trash to my family that I couldn't vote Trump.
Talk trash about Trump?